All right, let's take you back to one of our top stories. SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi is at the Nedlac Summit and joins us live. Very good afternoon to Katlego. Just let us know what else has happened there this afternoon.
A very good afternoon to you, Nzinga, and to our viewers at home. You're coming to us at a time when this particular summit has just wrapped up. So we saw social partners just coming together here at the Gallagher Convention Center to take stock really of where really these social partners are in terms of finding each other, where the socio-economic challenges are concerned. We know very well that there's a lot happening in South Africa right now. Poverty really rife, unemployment really rife, the economy stagnant, and not getting the best out of the interventions that we see coming through legislation. But this particular institution is just set up to ensure that there are those policies that are championed here to ensure that there's a mitigation where those concerns and challenges are concerned. I'm going to bring into the conversation now the voice of Labour. We've heard from more or less government, and now we're going to bring in Labour to just reflect with us in terms of what came out of this summit here today. I have Mr. Vavi. They're the new kid on the block where SABC is concerned and its role here at Nedlac, and we saw really government just presenting its role here and the interventions that are needed. We saw business as well raising concerns about some of the issues that exist within Nedlac, and now we just want to hear from Labour. What are your expectations? Are you satisfied with what we saw come out of this summit here today?
Well, the normal way of looking at success is the results. I mean, if you were listening to everybody speaking, even the Minister of Employment and Labour, the Deputy President, the leaders of the constituencies of Nedlac, from business to Labour, community organisation, all of those interventions are underlined by only one theme, that things are not going well in our country. That at some point, a person who comes to the conclusion that things are falling apart will not be accused of being a drama queen. From the SABC perspective, we've always maintained in the recent period that we're no longer just standing outside a house written a failed state. If you listen to the Gift of the Giver's presentation today about our state of readiness to deal with the disasters that are becoming more frequent and much more intense, you will say, and that is evidence, that indeed we have reached a point where institutions such as Nedlac must begin to ask themselves a serious question. Where have we been? Why have we not been able to steer the ship away from the disasters that are unfolding, whether it is climate change, catastrophe, or unemployment, in particular of women and children, black people, and of the poverty and all of the social ills that are flowing from poverty and inequality. So what we're coming out of here, what we need is a new beginning. We need to press a restart. If you listen to business, they were correct to say, if this is not going to be the place where we find solution, what is the point of maintaining, and what is the relevance of this structure, and why must we waste our time? And he spoke to us, in particular those of us who were here when Nedlac started, and we are now returning back to find that things have gone even further into the direction of a catastrophe. So we do need to sit at the leadership, and I'm doing my own part, quietly speaking to COSATU, to say we've got to ask ourselves a question: why are things getting worse during the time of our leadership, and what is our responsibility? I've started to talk to some business leaders to say, what is that we have not done well that makes South Africa to be in a crisis where investments are falling apart, where the economy is not growing and zigzagging towards a small 0 point something percentage in growth, and sometimes downright recession. and why unemployment, poverty, inequalities are getting worse instead of getting better. That's the restart that we need. And I hope that in these behind-the-scenes discussions that we are starting, we can come to the conclusion of saying, if Nedlac have to be saved as an institutions, these are the things that we must deliver on.
Mr. Vavi, thank you very much, sir, for your time coming through as the voice of labor, where the social partners are concerned. We have government, we have labor, we have civil society and business. Most of them are just talking about that particular restart and just taking stock of Nedlac's teeth in making sure that it mitigates against some of those socio-economic challenges. They're going to continue taking stock. They're going to talk about bilaterals and some of those meetings that would continue in terms of a strategy that will be formulated here to ensure that at least Nedlac gets to create an impact and have an impact in mine and your life. Nzinga, back to you in studio.
Katlego Legodi, thank you so much for that update from Gallagher Estate there.